Everyone knows that retirement brings freedom from the grind, but people probably don't suspect that the first year of retirement can be rocky and full of unpleasant, even brutal truths. I was not prepared for 3 major changes that completely unsettled me. What I didn't realize is that retirement is a major life event, right up there with going to college and getting married. I got my first year wrong, but you don't have to. In this video, I'll break down my mistakes and lessons so you can learn from my example. Because what I discovered is that there are 3 brutal truths about retirement, and the real secret is how they all connect. Here's what retirement actually looked like for me early in the first year. I had so much time on my hands, I began obsessing over the small details in my life. You know that saying, idle hands are the devil's playground? That was me. I have short-term rental properties and I would walk through them every single day. Because I could, finding every speck of dust even if a guest would never see it. I am sure my cleaner appreciated all those texts that she got showing the opportunities for improvement in cleaning. It felt like I was busy, but I wasn't productive. The first truth hit me off guard because I thought once I stopped working, I would stop striving, but I didn't. The first brutal truth is this: you don't stop wanting progress just because you stop working. The challenge disappears, but the craving to improve stays. I'd wanted to take a pottery class ever since I took one in high school. There was something deeply satisfying about shaping a moldless blob of clay into something pretty and useful. But as a working professional, I never had time for it. Classes were always in the middle of the day, and honestly, spending hours playing with clay felt frivolous when I had adulting to do, like laundry and Costco runs. So one of the first things I did after retiring was to sign up for a pottery class. 8 weeks, Mondays at noon. By the end, I had a small collection of wobbly pottery, tiny little bowls because I couldn't figure out how to make the tall and graceful vases. But I display them proudly in my home because they represent something bigger, doing something just for me. I learned that it was joyful, even necessary, to grow just for my own sake. It was okay to stop trying to improve the world and instead just improve myself. Most of us think progress ends when the paycheck stops. But it never really does. The form just changes, from promotions and deadlines to small but personal wins. And while I was having fun and progressing my skills, it still wasn't enough. And that's when I realized that the need we have isn't just about growth, it's about purpose. It's tempting to think that in retirement, the need to fill a certain purpose will end. However, the second brutal truth is that having free time and money doesn't replace being useful. That's where having a purpose comes in. First, let's be clear on what purpose means. It's the feeling that your actions matter, that you're moving towards something important to you, that also benefits someone beyond you. Part of the reason I manage my short-term rentals myself is that it gives me a sense of purpose. I get incredible joy out of curating a perfect experience for my guests. For me, an impeccably clean home, filled with all of the thoughtful amenities like good cookware, crystal glasses, labels on the drawers. These small details make for a great guest experience. And I provide a guest book where they can leave a note for the next guest and say what they loved about the space. One note I read the other day actually made me cry. A guest said that he and his wife slow danced in front of the fireplace while listening to a Gladys Knight and the Pips record, and that they hadn't done that in years. Those guests are going to remember their stay for the rest of their lives. And that gives me great joy and great purpose. Notes like that from guests help me realize that purpose isn't a job or a title. It's the meaning behind the effort. It's what turns simple tasks into something worth doing. But even with growth and with purpose, my days still felt unpredictable. I'd wake up and wonder, what now? That's when I learned the third brutal truth. One of the most underrated aspects of a job, a career, even one that you don't like, is that it provides certainty. You know where you'll be, what you'll be doing, and when you'll get paid. Even if you don't like your job or how much you earn, there is safety and security in the routine of it. That's why the third brutal truth is this: without routine, even freedom can feel unstable. Those first few weeks and months of early retirement, I spent almost entirely in my robe. Ridiculous, right? I'd wake up early enough, usually around 7, make my green juice, play with my cat, make my boyfriend his morning coffee, and then spend 2 hours planning my day. Not kidding, 2 hours. Breakfast would be around 10 a.m., then laundry. Lunch was a 2-hour affair, so my day really wouldn't get started until about 1 p.m. And that was fine, even necessary at first. I was burnt out from my high-profile career and 50-hour weeks, but after a while, that very leisurely pace of life stopped feeling refreshing and started to feel lazy. So I took the most obvious logical step. Not really. I started the 75 Hard Challenge. For 75 days straight, that's 2 workouts, no alcohol, strict diet, daily photo, and reading 10 pages. It's actually not as hard as it sounds. I took my photo and did my walk first thing, and the rest of the day felt like a normal day, but with some boundaries. The routine was, and still is, pretty easy to stick with, and I actually like it. What's more, the changes in my body have been nothing short of miraculous. Finally getting the body of my dreams has brought me incredible satisfaction and a continued drive to stay healthy. I'm not saying everyone should be this extreme, but the mind and body don't just crave routine, they thrive on it. And now I can see how all 3 brutal truths fit together. Retirement can be the most fulfilling time of your life if you continue to grow, find purpose, and give yourself structure. When I look back on my first year, I realized I wasn't lost. I was just learning to live on my own terms, without the job title and my days automatically filled in for me. Instead, I was that lifeless ball of clay that needed to be shaped into something useful. So when you first retire, yes, rest, but then get to work. Not in a job, but on yourself. Figure out how you want to keep growing, how you want to contribute, and how you'll make sure your days fulfill you. If you found this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.